A lead gen should be the one thing that you the answer to my VIP cohort from the beginning of this video. A lead gen is the first thing you should order. Reason is you need to have leads. Whether or not you're going to call them is not the point. You need to have contacts which you can send messages out and make sure that you do it properly, like SMTP and email warm-ups, so you don't just get thrown into spam and getting the qualifications. I use EmailLite, who will handle all that stuff. Yet if you built out your own, you will want to make sure that you build it out to the best effectiveness possible so it doesn't end up in a spam letter. Because bet your horses, if you just say, hey, I am nobody, smiley face, you want to hear my announcement on my book? I'm pretty cool. Not. That will be not the way you want to do. It's not going to go out well. Yet having those leads are important. And giving the announcement is important as well. So one thing that I live by is like no guarantees. I'll do my best always. Yeah, I'm not going to just keep guaranteeing you. And if I know there's a part of the process that will give you a hiccup, I'm going to say, hey, brace yourself for this. And bro, it eliminates their responsiveness to like, yeah. No, they won't be barking because I'll be like, they'll bark if they just have nothing else better to do. But if they're pretty normal, and they might have a tendency to bark, but with that, it's like, I can't really bark. He told me brace myself. So I've already understood that could be a possible lineup. So why a lead gen? What is in it to give somebody the ability to have a lead gen? Well, one, a lead gen, I would say, think of it like a FICO score. Probably even better. If you have 10,000 leads that you can contact from, that's pretty much 10,000 possible ways to get capital. Because now you're connected to somebody else that will vest in you because you're providing them value of sort. Because everyone pays for value, whether it's entertainment, whether it's necessity, whether it's education, whether it's all these types of plethora. If you do not create something of value, you will be sold to. It's just the way that it works. Unless you're like living in the boonies, nothing, very little purchases besides the necessities. Understand, give you kudos. Coming back to it, everything flows. Money's moving about. You're going to be purchasing. So it's best to understand how to create value so you can get things back and be rewarded from it and then have more abilities to maneuver. And the more strategy that you have on that is what's going to give you an edge. A lead gen is that. Your social capital is equally as important. Who you know, what they can do, and how to make sure that it's brought out is a whole game entirely that I'm still even working on. Because the expectations always have to be done in the beginning. Do not think that you can just throw expectations in the middle. When you set the bar from the beginning, when they enter, they know how to adhere to it. They might deviate because there might be some laxities, but if you hold that saying like, look, in the beginning, we set this bar, we got to adhere to it. And I'm no greater in that. And if you adhere to that type of principle yourself, there might be times where you're exempt because you have to do other important matters. Yet, most of the time you try to follow that, it showcases that you're not above the rules and you want to adhere as best to your ability. So, with that, what type of tools can you even use? Because I'm a big advocate of a tool list. And I watched recently one of my softwares, Cloudora, get shut down. And I only could extract 10,000 leads from 90,000 from there. And it was, whew. poof, trying to do like get it out, and it was only like 1,000 per day, and I was just like, I can only get that much out. I tried my best to do like a one-time bulk, and it didn't work, and it's gone now, and that's okay. Things that disappear on you are normal. Look at the things that you've taken out of it and the things that you lost from it, and what type of learning can you do in between. You can always find that data. Always be in the hunt for more software, another redundancy to fall back to. Keep more backups, so if something fails, you can draw it, get more cloud servers, more information, more documentation. If you get physical and digital, you're even more strongly positioned. It's just more favorable in all regards. So, with all that being said, you have your lead gen, you have the tools, you have the redundancies. Sometimes you watch them disappear. Things don't last forever. What are you supposed to do? Seize the moments. Do the best that you can. Know the mistakes that you made. What would you do better? In my case, it would have been more quickness and consistency on it. That's all. Yet, what I did do from it, I did with what all I had on my plate. And that's all you can do sometimes. But I know where to navigate, what I've been creating, what things I'm adding more and more on. And the time will come where it'll showcase all that. And where everything lines up. Yet, I don't think I'll be ending anytime soon. Meaning, even if it says I can go take a vacation, I will always probably still be looking, maintenancing, and just keep speaking on these types of points. Because that's just how my brain thinks. I won't allow some common sense or just like passive thing in my head not to look and make sure that the passive is maintenance. It just doesn't click in my head. And that's where I'm obsessed with. My mind just wants to make more systems that make things automated while also coming back to self-repair and have oversight to see if the self-repairing is working properly and letting it do its course, not stressing over the small minutes. So that's one good part. So where do we go after we get the lead gen? We want to put it into a CRM or an SMTP, so that's just pretty much an email send out service. You want to have two working coincide, one in the CRM and then one on the send out. You want to make sure that you filter out what types you can and cannot do. Like you do not want, if your product is a book, you don't probably want to be sending it to a government contractor. It might put some red flags on you, you know what I mean? Just keep that in mind, or you don't want to be sending it to like bank institutions and so forth, because that's another thing. They probably don't want to be looking in their email and say, hey, you want to buy a book today? Or, hey, download this book. It's no virus. No bad. No. Let them find it. They can hop onto the site, trustworthy and so forth. The more trustworthy you make the site, compliancy just adds even more value to you because people feel safe. And then the more that you learn in there, clap. Yes, please. That the ecosystem has evolved. It is tough. Whether a Gen Z or a baby boomer tells you this, it doesn't matter. When you get to a website, it's a lot of stuff happening. I give kudos to coders heavily. There's so much that's happening. In addition to like having to understand people and understanding how to deploy it and all that other stuff. If I did not have a Claude, I would be screwed. So thank you, Claude. And then there's other large language models. I'll give them kudos as well. Thank you. Thank you. Because it helps me now. I can work on the things that are most passionate to me. And I have the ability to think on these types of things. Yeah, I'm not fully... If you ask me to go in and code out the whole compliancy thing, I would be sitting there for months to years, learning these skills, reading the books. I could get there. Yeah, all that time vested, I want to build out something much huger and on a bootstrapped budget. So pretty much myself, and then building out automation and large language schedules and routines, and just pretty much a whole wide range of things. And me just being the director of all that stuff. That's where I really want to do. Not be stuck on code screens. And this is not to disrespect coders. I have the utmost respect to you. Yeah, if the tool is doing it and it's building it out, it's great. Just, I hate when people say that you can just use Claude Code or Coder and then it's just like, yeah, it's good. Or yeah, you can just launch it and then it's all great. And then I start looking at it. I'm like, where's the compliance? Where's can I add the back end? Where can I put in automation so it's doing this frequently so I'm not entering it every single time? Because the code is good. Yeah, you need to give it direction on like what type of things you want automated. It can pretty much get a good estimation of like where you want to navigate. Yeah, you need to direct it because it can miss those small details that you need to be like, hey, look at this. Hey, look at this. Hey, look at this. Hey, it's more like arguing with the thing than actual. It just one thing into the prompt and voila, it is perfect. No, it's like going back through, making sure. And then it's like going back, making sure, doing this. Hey, remove that, this, that, the other thing. And it's like learning off that and then trying to build skills so it don't have to be in that. And it's just like, all to be said, to go back to the leads. You have your CRM and you have your SMTP, your email sender service. Keep them both in there. Have documents if you want to print it out just for more your own sake. I don't. A smaller operation, but if you want to keep those prints, document it, cool. Now, we're going to go into sales and marketing. If you bootstrapped, don't be doing Google ads. That's one way that you'll be eating it away immediately. If you have the funds or capital and you want to take that risk on it and you know that it has a little bit of traction, go right ahead. I'm not going to stop you. I did some Google ads before my failures and it was pretty cool. It taught me a lot. Almost got bankrupt because I used an Amazon storefront and it went on that way past the amounts. I thought I was going to be paying like 50 grand for that, but the budget didn't stop it. And I used a different storefront for what they had. So it was a learning experience, but I still endorse Google ads are awesome, especially with large language models. I'd love to go deeper in that. I've just been so focused on this stuff that haven't got around to it. If it does arrive, I'll take a good deep look at it. But for right now, I'm just keeping focused on YouTube videos, getting content out there. So I can build out a whole short front to get to the long front and build out here. I want to get to 1,000 videos. Yeah, right now my sprint is to 100 right now. That's my big thing. So become the VIP you're meant to be. Well, let's finish off. I was about to end it, but no. So we have our sales and we have marketing. Sales-wise, always going to recommend this. I'm revealing them. Jeremy Miner. Go hit him hard. If you read his books, The New Sales Model, and see his NAPQ book, you can probably find it on YouTube, some of his videos. Go through the Gemini little button, say, hey, summarize this for me. It'll probably give you the same thing of important points. Put it in Google Docs or Notes or LibreOffice, whatever you prefer. Keep those notes marked down if you want to put into another large language model, save tokens, yada, yada. Get back to the point. You want to do that, get his framework. Now with sales, you want to have a sales where you kind of take his model, make it into a sales letter, get that out as an email. Cool thing to remember with an email, make sure they have an opt-out at the bottom so they can get out of the email subscription service so they ain't violated of their rights. Just a good heads up. Secondly, we will want to do social media channels. So you want to get a script that you can just plug into there, say, hey, I started shifting away from like purchase this thing type of way to like, hey, here's an announcement. These are the things that we're doing. There will be investments for higher tier stuff or different types of products, but we also have free products so you can get to understand what we are. That's what I enjoy mostly as an announcement, just to give that over so it bridges awareness without you trying to sound like a salesperson. You want to be more like a promoter, like somebody that just is like, hey, just for your reference, we're having an event here. Feel free to show. Just get that into their brains. The more that you get that into their brains, then a commitment can arise by you just like saying, do you really want to be challenged or figure out how to be more of a problem solver or something of that nature? This is just scenario wise. Keep that in mind. Then bam. Then phone call wise, you want to create a script for that, like where you're like, hey, John, this is Mike with Vipelex. I have an announcement. Wrong, don't say that. Just say, do you have any time? And if you say, yeah, great. Then let's say he pulls out the objection. How'd you get even my number? Oh, it just came into my CRM and the pipeline gets filled. It just has things that come along. I've just been going back through files and I get pretty busy. The notes say that you're kind of like interested in this type of stuff. Is that wrong, or is this even the best fit for you? So you're pretty much like taking it and be like, hey, it just gets filled. I'm not really too sure. The reason I say Mike, don't say that you're the CEO of a company if you're by yourself. It kind of gives the yeah, yeah. So that's that. So just give it across, ask those questions, build out the script. Don't take me at this. This was just me spitballing right now. Then marketing wise, if you have anything, just tell them from this sales script, make a marketing image and make like a marketing prompt or SOP that follows this. And then the sales script is the SOP as well. Just be like, follow this sales script. Use a little improvisation. Don't go fully off into a full 30-minute tangent. Pull the conversation back in. Don't just let it go off and you fall overboard. Like something of that nature. And that's pretty much what you do with your lead gen. And then when that happens, you go back to your CRM, put notes in, and then just let the emails keep sending. Now, does one contact time usually work the best? I say no. You probably need to do it multiple times, and sometimes you're just going to be like, hey, I'm excited to really present this to you. Do you have availability? I just really want to show what I built out for you. You available? Just give that little nudge. Don't pressure them like this, like you're going to shake them. Just be like, hey, just like, it's a rub, just like this. Not, yeah, no. And so, nudge. And then, that's all you can do. Create more content around yourself. Be a brand. Be a personal brand. Be yourself. Work on yourself. Do what you can consistently. Laugh, joke, do all the things that you can. Stand up. Don't be sitting crouched over like this, My name's Phil, no. You want to, I might be slouched a little but you want to stand, you want to be moving and so forth. So, yeah. So to my VIP cohort, a great listening session, and I'll talk to you later. Deuces.